Seems legit. Laser.
Hello Legitimates, welcome back to my channel. Today we are using the F1 by Xtool, which is my new favorite thing in the universe, to customize some bag hardware. Now I'm going to show you all the different options that I've come up with. I have worked out settings and stuff before this video, so we don't need to see too many of that, but I will also show you what not to do because I have a few things that I ran into as far as problems. So you will need your machine. Ignore that, that's a bracelet. You will need some blue tack or U-tack or easy tack or whatever you use to put posters on the wall. Preferably not chewing gum because that's gross. And then you will also want something to put it on. Now, something like this little disc would be perfect, but you can also just use a giant piece of wood. The main reason we want this is because we want to be able to position things around easiest. So this is a bit big, but I have been using that. This is better. So this is just like a little wooden disc. You could cut something specifically with your laser if you wanted to. I bought a pack of these and they didn't work out for what I wanted them for. So now I just have them laying around. So this is a perfect example. And you want a good chunk of blue tack. And the main reason we're going to use the blue tack is for something like this. I want to laser this angled part here. So you need to put it in the blue tack and then get it even. So again, blue tack is what I found works best. I did also try things like Play-Doh, but it just wasn't as effective. So that's obviously not even, but you can work it even because it's blue tack. So that is pretty much all you need. And your bag hardware, I have tried it on all the different colors. So I've tried it on gunmetal, bronze, silver, and rainbow. I can get markings on all of them. So I'm going to show you how I get each of the things and maybe just inspire you to do some cool stuff. So let's go. Okay, so I have connected slasher. That is what I have named the F1 because it's way more fun to name them fun things. So I've got slasher and slayer. So we have connected that, so we're good to go. Now this is the workable area of the laser engraver. It's almost to scale on my computer, but that's irrelevant. Now over to the side here, I've already got some things. So this is my logo, and if we zoom in, you can see this is my new logo that I use on finished products. It's simple, clean lined, I love it. I've also got Seems Legit just in capitals to put on other stuff, and then I tried some different stuff like the Jack Skellington head, and I also did a bag where I put one each of the suits of cards onto each of the 4 rivets that I used to attach the handles because, again, I was being excessive and it's fun. So the first thing we want to do is pick what we're going to do first. So I am going to do something fun and little. So we're going to grab my actual logo and I kind of try to put it roughly in the middle. It's just easier that way. And then we're going to open up the laser and I'm going to record this and we can have it as a little mini thing. So we're going to open the laser, grab so the laser's on, we're going to grab our little disc with the blue tack, and then I'm going to grab one of my pieces of hardware that I want to put my logo on. So these are quite small, and I'm just going to stab it into the blue tack and then make sure it's even. Now, if you want to, you can, of course, get a level on here, but I'm fairly confident that that will be fine. And then we're just going to, on the side of the machine, lift it up until those 2 buttons are perfectly in line with each other. So there's a red dot and a blue dot, and you want to merge them together until they're a perfect combination. That is how you tell that you've got it at the right settings. Now back onto the computer, we want to frame it, but there's options with the framing. So you can do a rectangle, which is just the incomplete outline, or you can do the actual outline of what you're trying to laser engrave. So I'm going to pick outline, and then I'm going to hit framing, and it should come up. You will see it. It takes a second because depending on how complex it is, it will depend on how long it takes. And so I can see that there is about half. It's not actually showing me all of it, which I think is a bit rude. So we're going to stop framing. We're going to select the whole thing and then click framing again. It was showing me the top half, but not the bottom half. And I just want to absolutely make sure but it's going to work out. So, give it a second. My computer probably needs restarting. It doesn't usually take this long. So that's at the top. I can't actually see the bottom still. But I'm fairly confident that that's going to work out. So then we're going to go to the engraving part. We want 100% power, 5 millimeters per second, and I'm only just going to do 2 passes, and you want 200 lines per centimeter with the IR laser. This is what I have found works best on bag hardware specifically. Obviously, it's because it's a type of alloy. I also don't know why it's selecting everything. So what I'm actually going to do as well is delete these because I don't need them anymore. They were fun for what we did, but this is now what I'm trying to do. So now that everything's set, we're going to lock the screen down. I'm going to click process. And then it's going to think about how long it takes. It's going to give you an estimation down here as to how long it will take. It's calculating now. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We're going to click start and then hit the machine.
So I have sped this up, otherwise we'll be here forever. I also did manage to get this slightly crooked, which was a bit disappointing, but that was my own fault because I was trying to center it from the side and that never works. I always should sit in the front. But it does still look amazing. So let's see the finished result. Alright. It's a little bit crooked, but that was my fault. How cool though. So, we can also put it on zipper pulls, like so. I have also put it on the side of here. So to do these ones, we're just going to, let me see if I can do it in one hand, push this into the blue tack and then make it sit evenly. So we hold it and then just move it until it is level. See? Look at that. Okay, so here is the one I'm going to do. So these ones are a slightly different shape, but that'll be fine. So the first thing we want to do is shove it into here and get it as flat as possible, which can sometimes be an issue, but we'll get there. Alright, so we want to shove it in so it's not going to move. Like that. And then we need to adjust this so that the dots are together. And then we're going to frame the rectangle, because rectangle framing in this case will work out better. So we're just going to do rectangle framing, and that is still too big because of the curve. So what we want to do is I've just made it a bit smaller, and I don't know if you can see that. I also want it to go this way. So see, another reason why we do it like this. So let me move the camera so you can see. See how it's doing the rectangle outline of where it's going to sit? So then you can just finically position it exactly in the middle, right? Or you could put it on an angle if you wanted to, or whatever, but I think centered would look the best. And then we can just stop that and then laser engrave this. So I sped this up quite a lot because you get the idea, but it's also just really, really fun to watch. So this took like 8 seconds in speed up time. So now you can see it worked beautifully, and my preferred cleanup method is just some window cleaner on a rag, and then you're good to go. I did actually try to use some silver polish, but on the gunmetal and the rainbow, it takes off the color, so I do not recommend doing that. You can also see here I am doing a tassel cap, so it is on an angle, but it does still work out very, very well. Because it is larger, it did take a while longer, and then you just polish it at the end and you're good to go. So I hope this has inspired you if you have got a laser or wish to purchase one. And then I just thought I'd show you some up close things with which you can do. So please make sure that you like this video and subscribe, and I have put links down below if you wish to purchase your own laser. They are super handy. This is just one of the million things I plan on doing with the laser. So stay tuned for more. Okay, bye everyone.